nobody's there, or like only a few people, and considering that is the Chicago airport.
If you're planning to fly to the U.S. this summer, you might notice fewer flight options. New data shows a massive drop in demand for air travel between Canada and the U.S.
Las Vegas is seeing fewer tourists and their spending. From hotels to casinos to flights, the numbers are down across the board.
The American airline industry is on the verge of collapse. And this time, it's not temporary. Over 3 million canceled tickets, half-empty flights, and not a single protest in sight. Even Canada, America's once loyal tourist neighbor, is quietly turning away. There's no pandemic, no lockdown. Yet airports in Fort Lauderdale, Las Vegas, and Phoenix stand strangely empty. Why? And who's hit hardest first? Today, we look at 5 American airports now turning into ghost towns as millions of Canadians stay home during peak travel season. Starting with the so-called winter gateway of Canada, Fort Lauderdale. It's July, but Fort Lauderdale International Airport, once packed with Canadian travelers, now echoes only with automated announcements and rows of empty seats. Flights from Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, once fully booked, are now half empty or canceled altogether. Florida was the winter dream for Canadian retirees escaping the cold. But today, rising crime, sky-high Airbnb rates, and worries about health insurance and safety have driven them away, quietly. The once busy Air Canada counter is closed. Baggage claims are silent. Taxi drivers wait hours for a single fare. Last year, a local driver made 3 airport runs from Toronto flights every day. Now he sits for hours with no rides. Canadian Airlines have cut routes. Airport shops have shut doors, and hotels and car rentals near the airport report losses of up to 60%. Local businesses wonder, will this winter still be warm enough to survive? But Florida isn't alone. Las Vegas, once the 24/7 playground for Canadian tourists, is facing the same reality. Flights from Canada to Vegas have dropped by 60% in a year. What used to be more than 170 monthly flights is now barely 70. Vegas was once Canada's winter beach. Now many won't touch it. Airlines like Air Canada and Flair have scrapped Vegas from their summer routes. Rising crime, polarization, and higher costs have changed Canadian travelers' minds. Hotels on the Strip are cutting staff as Canadian bookings vanish. Restaurants, casinos, shows all see fewer visitors. Tour guides and drivers who once thrived on Canadian groups now wait weeks for a booking. They've slashed prices, made calls, sent emails, but nothing works. McCarran Airport, once buzzing like a casino floor, now feels shut down. Empty check-in lines, dark duty-free shops, and rows of deserted seats remain where there used to be life and noise. If even Las Vegas, the city that never sleeps, is slipping into silence, can any airport in America wake up in time to save the airline industry? If Las Vegas was once a winter beach for Canadians, then Phoenix was their sunny escape from the harsh cold. But this year, Sky Harbor International Airport is far quieter. Flights from Canada to Phoenix have dropped by over 45% in less than a year. A destination once packed with Canadian snowbirds now has rows of empty seats from the terminal to baggage claim. Terminal 3 tells a story. Shuttered shops, empty cafes, and only the sound of suitcase wheels echoing through empty halls. A resort owner in Scottsdale says, "We used to be fully booked from November to March, mostly with Canadians. This year, entire weeks go by with empty rooms." Phoenix, once a symbol of sunny retirements, is now a layover for missed flights and lost revenue. A weak Canadian dollar has doubled costs for visitors, while travel health insurance has become pricier, especially for retirees. Many now ask, has the American dream become too expensive? One couple from Ontario put it simply, we can't afford Arizona anymore. Flights, rentals, insurance, meals, it all blows our budget. We'd rather stay in chilly Vancouver and feel at ease. Beyond costs, concerns over crime and political division have made the U.S. feel less welcoming. The fallout is clear. Airlines like WestJet, Swoop, and Air Transat have cut routes to Phoenix. International tourism revenue in Arizona has plunged, hurting hotels, restaurants, golf courses, and even local medical clinics serving Canadians. Shopping districts in Tempe, Chandler, and Scottsdale have cut hours or shut stores. Gone are the lines of resort shuttles and Canadian retirees chatting over coffee. Sky Harbor stands worryingly quiet. If Phoenix, once a Canadian paradise, is emptying out, this isn't a blip. It's a warning for American tourism. Near the border, Buffalo Niagara Airport once bustled with Ontarians flying cheap, shopping, and heading home the same day. Now it's silent. Visitors from Canada have dropped over 60% in 6 months. The long-term parking lot sits empty. Customs counters stand idle, a sight few Americans imagined. Peak weekends once jammed traffic from Rainbow Bridge to the terminal. Now, just wind whistling through empty lots. A weaker Canadian dollar, tougher entry checks, and traveler unease have turned what was once a routine trip into a hassle. Over 20% of Canadians who once flew south now choose Europe or local trips instead, not because it's closer, but because it feels safer and more comfortable. Buffalo, once a door to easy cross-border shopping, now feels like a corridor closing shut. The Canada-US border, once a casual weekend trip, is now a question mark stamped in every passport. Seattle-Tacoma, or SeaTac, was once the Northwest Gateway, welcoming millions from Vancouver and Alberta each year. This summer, that buzz fell silent. Canadian visits dropped 45% in 3 months. Air Canada and WestJet cut flights. 3 of the airport's 7 big restaurants shut down or slashed staff by 70%. A Starbucks worker said, "We used to run 24/7 for Calgary flights. Now we close at 6 p.m. There's no one left." Protests, tensions, and a weak loonie have made trips south less appealing. Europe and Canadian trips feel safer and cheaper. U.S. taxes and fees don't help. For the first time in 18 years, more South Koreans than Canadians are flying into SeaTac. Seattle once bridged 2 cultures, open, creative, close to nature. Now that bridge fades as neighbors stay away. 3 million empty seats. Hundreds of canceled flights. If Canada steps back, who fills the gap? Empty seats stretch from Toronto to Miami, not from disasters or pandemics, but lost trust. Vegas lights, Arizona winters, Florida beaches, once beloved, now bring hesitation. A mother in Ottawa told CBC, "We used to take the kids to Disney every summer. This year, my husband said, let's wait. What was once an easy getaway now feels risky." A retired Alberta couple said flights and insurance alone blew their winter budget. The American dream is becoming too expensive in every way. Airlines feel it first. Canadians aren't angry, just quietly pulling back. Is America losing more than tourists? Look at once busy terminals, now echoing with layoffs. Flights from Toronto to U.S. cities, once like buses in the sky, are being cut. Delta, United, American, scaling back, not for lack of planes, but passengers. As of June 2025, Canadian visits are down over 3 million, costing $4 billion. But the money isn't the worst loss, it's the trust. And it's not just Canada. Japan cut flights to California by 20%. Mexico is pushing domestic tourism over Texas. Europe is choosing Canada as visa rules shift. Canada may just be the first domino. When America's image goes red for travelers, ads won't fix it. This is about trust. A country once known for openness now risks seeming unstable and unwelcoming. These empty airports are a mirror. If even your closest neighbors stay away, how long before the world does too? No one wants airports to close for good. But tourism can recover with genuine connection. Canadians don't want special treatment, just clear rules and goodwill. No surprise fees or detentions. No one wants to feel like a threat when they could just stay home. The answer isn't more ads. It's better communication and real hospitality. America's draw was never just Disneyland or Vegas. It was the warmth behind them. Small towns, local festivals, open farms, indigenous-led tours. These are what travelers crave. Canada once loved the U.S. for being familiar yet different. That feeling can come back. Older generations remember when America welcomed the world. Sometimes a dinner invite does more than any ad. Trust can't be bought. It must be earned back. Every empty seat can be filled again, but only with sincerity. America once made the world feel at home. It can again, not with slogans, but with kindness. 3 million lost tourists this summer, not to disaster, but to fading trust. This isn't the end. It's a wake-up call. Tourists don't just come for sights, they come for people. Sometimes a country doesn't need more tourists. It needs people willing to fix what pushed them away. This was just the beginning. Hit that subscribe button and buckle up. Digital Garage has so much more in store.